So now with links implemented, let's work on these orders again. And on the orders, I actually want to adjust the styling for a single order. The width should only be, let's say, 80%. Whoops, 80, not span the full width. Still, I want to fetch these orders from my server. And for that, I'll first of all create two orders. So I'll create two burgers, maybe this burger here. Let me continue, and order it. And let me create one more, just meat and bacon, super healthy burger here. Let's click continue, and order it. And now if we check the Firebase database, we see the two orders here. We also see that the price is off here, but we'll fix this by outputting it correctly in the order. Still, the outputting part is the one we're not doing right now. In the orders container, I obviously want to fetch all my orders. Now to do that, I will implement component did mount. I can use component did mount here because I only want to fetch orders when this is loaded. There is no way we will go there without remounting it. So component did update is not what I'm looking for. So component did mount is what I need. I also need Axios. So I'm going to import Axios here from my own instance. So import Axios from, and now let's go up till we have Axios orders.js here. And then here I want to reach out to Axios get orders.json, referring to that orders node on my backend. And we set this as the base URL on our own Axios instance, so I don't have to add this. And then once the data is there, I of course want to do something with the response. I want to set some state which actually contains my orders and then outputs them. So I'll add some state to this component here. Now in the state, I want to have my orders, which is an array, an empty array initially. And I'll probably also have a loading state, which initially is true because I'll start loading. And then here in the then block, I'll definitely call set state and set loading to false. I'll also do this in the catch block here where I catch any potential errors. So there I'll definitely also copy that line and set loading to false. But of course also I want to store my orders. Now the thing is, when I reach out to the orders node, I'm not getting an array, but I'll get back a JavaScript object. I'll simply print it to the console so that we can analyze it. Res data will hold the data we get from Firebase, so let's have a look at that data then. If we head over to our application, open the console and go to orders, this is the object we'll get back from Firebase. Now as you see, it's a JavaScript object where the keys are simply these unique IDs Firebase generated for us, and the value then is the individual order data. So we're not getting back an array, but we get back an object where we have the IDs as properties. Now, what I want to do is, I of course want to turn my orders object into an array. I can simply do that by using a for in loop. So for let key in res data, and remember res data is that object we just printed to the console. And then here, I want to create a little helper method, fetched orders or whatever you want. It's an empty array initially. And I will simply call fetched orders push for each iteration, so for each element I find. And I want to push res data for a given key, accessing the value, which of course is the order. Now with that, we have the fetched orders array. To not lose the IDs though, which are my keys here, I'll do one thing. I'll not push this object. I'll instead push a new object onto this fetched orders array, where I will distribute the properties of the order object I fetched from Firebase with the spread operator, and add one new property, ID, which is the key, because remember the keys in this object we fetched from Firebase were the IDs created by Firebase. So now I have my fetched orders array full of order objects, which also are aware of their IDs. Now I can set orders here to fetched orders. I of course also want to handle any potential errors. So I'll import my own higher order component with error handler from, and now we have to move up to that HOC folder with error handler, and wrap our orders component with it, with error handler, just like that. Wrap it like this. Of course, let's also pass Axios here, otherwise this won't work. And now let's try it out by removing this JSON ending here. Let's go back and we get the network error here. So we got this error, so this works, the error handler. Of course, you can fine tune it in the local catch method here to show an error message on the screen or whatever you want. I'll re-add the .json here for the moment. And with that, we are fetching our orders. Now, fetching orders is of course not the same as outputting orders. So let's do this in the next lecture.